On Sunday morning, and yes, Sunday morning is important to the story. Sunday morning, Nancy Pelosi goes on MSNBC, talks to Jen Psaki, who of course used to be President Biden's communications secretary. And Nancy Pelosi called out Donald Trump for his nonstop string of lies during Thursday night's debate. And according to CNN, not only did he tell at least 30 verifiable lies during that debate, but he effectively lied during every single response that he gave during that debate. Meaning, there was not a time that Donald Trump opened his mouth when a lie wasn't coming out of it. That's how bad Donald Trump was during that debate, which of course has been overshadowed by President Biden's really, really bad performance, which even Nancy Pelosi admitted during the interview, like, it was bad. But she mainly called out Donald Trump's lies, and at one point she did say this: "As you may recall, I tore up his speech at a State of the Union because it was a total manifesto of lies. And that's what we saw the other night, which must be rejected, as well as his candidacy." She specifically called out the fact that Donald Trump claimed that Nancy Pelosi somehow was in charge of security at the Capitol and rejected 10,000 National Guard troops, which of course is a complete and total fabrication from Donald Trump. Now, as I mentioned, this happened Sunday morning, right? So Nancy Pelosi wakes up, she goes on MSNBC, then she goes about her day. But apparently Donald Trump caught that performance. And I don't know at what time of day he actually saw it or read about it or whatever. But he sat there, possibly all day on Sunday, stewing, getting angrier, just mad, furious that Nancy Pelosi called out my lies, gosh darn it. And a little after midnight, in the wee hours of the morning on Monday, 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time to be exact, Donald Trump finally had the words he needed to go out there and attack Nancy Pelosi. Again, don't know how many hours he sat there stewing on it, but he was up most of the night thinking of a response, and here's what it was. Crazy Nancy Pelosi, who the other day was exposed by her daughter, a filmmaker, as being fully responsible for the lack of security on January 6th, is, in my opinion, more cognitively impaired than crooked Joe Biden. I just watched her do an interview and she was way off. Additionally, she is suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS, and her case is terminal. She is a sick puppy and always has been. Yeah, that's a totally normal response when somebody says, hey, this guy was lying about what happened. And then you're out there like, she's crazy, she's insane, she's cognitively impaired, and she's a sick puppy. And he put puppy in quotation marks for some reason, I don't know. But okay, let's dissect that. First and foremost, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about with Pelosi's daughter. I can't find that anywhere. At least not on any credible website. You, once again, are just making crap up because that's what you do. You lie to make yourself feel better and to make yourself look better in front of your idiotic base. Second of all, it has been repeatedly debunked that Nancy Pelosi was in charge of security. It has been completely debunked time and time again that you offered the National Guard. You didn't offer the National Guard till later in the evening, after the riot had pretty much been contained at that point. You are the one that is clearly cognitively impaired. Okay, let's not pretend for a second that your inability to say a sentence without telling a lie, let's not act like that's normal, right? I mean, we have to look at Donald Trump's nonstop stream of lies every time he talks as a symptom. Because that is what it is. It is a symptom of a serious psychological problem. That is what Trump has. And the more he sits there talking about everybody else is cognitively impaired, but he's the only one who can ace his cognitive exam. It's like 5 questions. No. He does that to deflect from the fact that we have dozens of mental health professionals to this day telling us that he's got psychological problems, that he has brain problems, you know, the difference between the psychological and the actual biological. But he has both, according to the people who do this for a living. Trump is the one that is impaired. Again, cognitively and biologically in his brain. Nancy Pelosi is definitely old. Nancy Pelosi is not as quick and sharp as she used to be, much like President Biden. It just happens with time. But I do not believe either of them are crazy. I do not believe either of them are demented. But Trump, on the other hand, I would use both of those words to describe his current mental state. Hey everybody, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we are closing in on a pretty major milestone here at Fair and Balanced as we approach 500,000 subscribers. But we're not there yet, and we definitely need your support. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, like and comment on the videos and share them as widely as possible.